Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I am so super excited to be hosting this webinar with each and every single one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the chat box where you're calling in from. I want to know what city you're calling in from, what country. Let's represent where you're building out of, and let's see how global of an organization we already are. We got Dubai, Sweden, Poland, Portugal, UK, Wales, Michigan, UK, San Francisco, California, Norway, Waterford, Lebanon, Belgium, Austria, UK, Finland, Germany, UK, Norway, London, Arkansas, Serbia, Philadelphia, USA in the house. Let's go. Rotterdam, love that place. London, Wales, Finland, Sweden, Saudi Arabia. Let's go. I love to see this. Nigeria, London. Wow, absolutely incredible. We got the 6 in the house with Toronto, Austria, Norway, London. Wow. As you can see, guys, we're already a global organization. I can't even get through the chat box. This is absolutely crazy. Italy. Wow. Kabul, welcome. Oh my God, my country. Welcome. Salam. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the call, guys. I'm super excited to do this webinar. And first and foremost, I just want to start off by saying, I want to give a huge thank you to every single person who took time out of the day to just really join this webinar and to really, learn a little bit more about why we do what we do and how important it is for us to do something in 2023. And that something is go all in, right? And, you might have heard in previous builds or in different things that you've done, go all in. You have to make sure that you put all of your eggs in one basket to make something work. And today I really want to break that down and help everybody on this webinar understand what it takes for you to go ahead and actually crush 6 figures in 6 months. This is something when I first joined this industry, back in 2013, I really didn't know what to expect. And I was part of a company I was building for about a month before the company decided that they could no longer operate. And in that moment, I decided I'd step away from the industry and I focused just on corporate America and overall being an entrepreneur. And one thing I realized is stepping away from the industry actually hurt me way more than it helped me. So when I got started back in 2020, at the very beginning of the pandemic, I looked at my Facebook and I had 499 friends on Facebook. I had like 739 followers on Instagram. And I said, man, I'm the smallest guy in the biggest pond and I need to take massive action. And I told myself, along with my business partners and everybody in my organization, that I needed to crush 6 figures in 6 months, okay? Now, I don't want this call to just be like, fluff and motivation. I really want you guys to be able to take away certain things that you can implement into your business right now, today, to start seeing the results that you want to see. Now, go ahead and just drop a 1 in the chat box if you're ready to crush 6 figures in 6 months and 10x your business within the next 6 months, okay? Literally, everybody needs to be part of this movement. In order for us to be able to crush 6 figures in 6 months, it takes a specific level of duty, obligation, responsibility, but more importantly, the execution that it takes in order for you to actually go ahead and do that. And guys, this isn't fluff. So I need you to take your pen and paper out because note takers are money makers, okay? If you take notes and if you listen to the things that we talk about today on this webinar, you're going to be able to walk away from this a better builder at the end of the day. That's why we're here. We're here so that we can make a positive impact, not just on our lives, but on other people's lives, because we understand that in this industry, you're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. There's entirely way too much support around you in order for you to not see success in this space. I mean, just look at this call. How many people on this webinar want to grow? Literally all 190 of you want to make some incredible magic happen in your lives, right? And there's something that you have to understand about success in network marketing. When you see other people achieving success in network marketing, it means one thing and one thing only: rising tides raise all ships. Now, what does that mean? When you see other people growing in this company, in Economy, we have to get so excited and so happy and so much gratitude in our heart when we see other people winning. Because when you see somebody else winning, it means that the system works, right? It means that there are other people who are duplicating the process. So when you see other people winning, the first step is do not compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. Now, I want to explain something to you. When I stepped into this industry, the only comparison I made was the comparison to light a fire under my behind so that I can actually go out there and do the things, the tasks needed in order for me to scale and build the way I need to in order for me to crush my goals. That's the only comparison I made. I did not look at the other people in the company who are making 100K a month, 200K a month, and say, oh, why am I not that person? I understood the assignment, and the assignment was very simple. I needed to level up. So first things first, you do not want to compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20, because I've been in this industry full time since about March of 2020. But you can't think to yourself and say, oh, well, I've also been in this industry for 3 years. How come I don't have the same success as Ali or as Lily or as Thomas or as this person? Because you don't understand what I went through from the age of 21 until 29 when I got back into network marketing. You don't know the trials and tribulations and the things that I went through in corporate America, in business world, in entrepreneur world, with personal development, growing my mind and allowing myself to accept abundance in my life. This was all work that led up to, and all failures that led up to what happened when I got into this industry. So first things first, the one thing that you have to have in this space in order for you to be able to build, scale, and grow is emotional wherewithal. You need to have rhino skin like it's nobody's business. And why am I talking about emotional intelligence, emotional wherewithal, and having rhino skin? What does this actually mean? Understand that as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a network marketer, as a trader, as a recruiter, as an affiliate marketer, you're going to have ups and downs in your business. It's going to happen. You cannot find one business on this planet that started here and just boomed straight up. It doesn't exist. Everything in life has ups and downs. The market has higher highs, higher lows, lower lows, higher lows. This is all designed because that's how essentially the world works. Nothing is ever going to be bullish 24/7. There will always be pullbacks in your journey. So when you have the emotional wherewithal to deal with the things that come to you in business, you're going to be the survivor, okay? Because at the end of the day, in business, it's not about what you know. It's not about how you know what to do. It's about how much of the conditions can you actually survive going through this journey. Because if you have an expectation or any type of anticipation that says, I'm going to be able to build my business with no adversity, you're absolutely wrong, and you're setting yourself up for failure, okay? You have to understand that this is survival of the fittest. This is all about the person who can take the most amount of punches, who can get pushed down on the ground and get back up over and over and over and over and over again. Now, I'm not saying that your build, you don't want to attract negativity into your build. You just need to be prepared for the things that are going to come your way. And let's talk about some of those things, right? A lot of you who are in economy today, including me, we all came from a different place. Some people, this might be your first time you're planting your flag in a network marketing company, and I think that's absolutely incredible. But at the end of the day, when you leave another company or you leave a paycheck or you come and you decide to go and do better for your team, you're going to get pushback from people in your previous build. And I'm telling you right now, that's just part of the process. People want to slow you down because at the end of the day, people just don't want to be wrong. It's nothing against them, nothing bad on them. It's just how it works in the space. Now, I can guarantee you that that type of energy doesn't live here in economy. Our energy is very abundant. We think abundantly. We think that there's no scarcity in this world. There's no shortage of individuals to impact. There's no shortage of money on this planet. There's no shortage of opportunity. And that's something that we're really grateful for. And that's the leadership at the very, very top of the company. We do not operate like that, but you have to be prepared for the haters and the naysayer and the things that people are going to say. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to combat that. First and foremost, it's very, very simple. Don't react. Very simple. You cannot feed into your haters. Guys, there's been so many people who talk about, oh, take your haters and use them as motivation and put them on the logs of your fire so that your fire can continue to burn. And I think that there's a component of, success is the best revenge, of course, right? We can't deny that. But at the end of the day, that can't be your only focus. The truth of the fact is, if you focus on your haters, you're going to develop more and more and more, and they're going to take you off your grind. You need to have tunnel vision. You need to be a racehorse with blinders on, and you need to keep the main thing the main thing. Do not ever let another person's word distract you or detach you from what's meant for you. Because I have seen entirely way too many people allow ego to block their blessings and allow the thoughts of other people and the opinions of other people to stunt their growth. And all you have to do is very, very simple. I'm going to teach you a simple strategy. Anybody who's hating on you, anybody who wants to see you fall, ready? Delete, block. Delete, block. Protect your energy at all costs. Delete, block. Type it in the chat box. Delete, block. Now, I'm not saying that you want to go block people who don't have the same vision as you or who, are in different companies. That's not what I'm saying at all. You need that type of adversity, that growth, because you need that friction in life. It's never always going to be the same wavelength, and that's totally okay. But people who are truly bringing you down, people who are truly affecting how you view the world, delete, block. It's very, very simple. This is part of the process of building that emotional wherewithal and that thick skin, because at the end of the day, we're human beings. And no matter how strong you are, how much growth you've gone through, how many seminars you've been through, how many books you've read, how many personal development videos you've watched on YouTube, you're a human. And at the core, you have a heart. And in this heart is something called feelings. And we're all going to feel these things. So you want to block that out of your life, delete, block, very, very simple. The second thing you want to do is when you go through these tough times, is you have to understand that if at every bit of adversity you falter, you will never see the amount of success that you want to see in your life. And I mean this from the very core. If at every adversity that I've ever received, that Thomas has ever received, that Suhail has ever received, that Lily or any of the leaders that you look up to, or any of your mentors, even mentors that you follow, that you take coaching from that are not in this company, compare it to Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone and all these individuals. Every time they were hit with adversity, they tried to figure out, how can I get around this? Because in life, you have two choices. You can either look at the things that are happening in your life and say, oh my God, I have all these problems in my life, or you could look at them as situations. And whenever you have a situation, you can find solutions to solve those situations, okay? You want to be very, very resourceful. You want to have a solutions mindset, because I no longer have problems in my life. I just have situations that I need to find solutions for. Because everything in life is about perspective. And the moment you start thinking of things from a problematic perspective, now you have problems in your life. But the beautiful thing about life is you can control if you have problems in your life by just looking at your problems as situations that you need to find solutions for. Then in turn, now you have full control of the outcomes of your life. So understand that this entire thing, there's levels to this, right? And one of the reasons why you see people in this industry who are constantly crushing it, people in the Forbes list, billionaires and billionaires, it's not so much what they know or who they know, it's they know how to navigate problems. And when you solve problems, you get paid in direct proportions to the problems that you solve. Now, let's talk a little bit about the problems that we solve here in Economy. What do we solve? We solve the problem of money. Guys, 50% of the world's jobs will be eliminated in the next decade. What we're doing here in Economy is we're helping people find a way for them to make money in the financial markets. Now, just do me a quick favor. Just drop a 1 in the chat box if you've seen profits from any product that's here in Economy, whether it's Athena, Manara, Hercules, Eminis, ECA, it doesn't matter. I just want to see a 1 in the chat box, okay? This is the first time in my life I ever gotten to an event and everybody, 100% of our customers had results. So you have to see that there's a major problem in the world that's called poverty, that's called broke mindset, that's called people not knowing the information. Now, we have the information, we have the keys to make a major impact on people's lives. So why would we not make it our duty, obligation, responsibility to go save these people? So this is how we help people solve their problems. So now if you get paid in direct proportion to the problems you solve enough people's financial problems in their household, you will be the top earner in this company. It's very, very simple. That's how you have to look at this. It's a game plan. It's saying, okay, how can I impact people's lives? Now, I know in network marketing, we're taught to message people in their inbox and ask them if they're open-minded for another opportunity. And I really want you to shift your focus when you are prospecting people, when you're reaching out to people, building relationships, building rapport, building connections. And I want you to ask people seriously what their financial situation is like. Imagine you're talking to a teacher in the United States who probably deserves to be the highest paid group of individuals in our country, yet they're one of the lowest paid groups of people in our country. Imagine talking to a teacher and you find out that this teacher has a family of 5 and husband and wife are living paycheck to paycheck with nothing in the way of savings. Immediately you have a problem. You've uncovered a major problem in this family. They're going through a financial hardship. What's the solution? Somebody drop in the chat box one solution that we have here in Economy that can solve this individual's problem, their situation. How can we give them a solution? What do we have here in Economy that can make an impact on that teacher's life, on that family's life? Just drop one thing. Look, Athena, Manara, Athena, our services, Athena, mentorship, ECA, options, Economy overall in general. So I want you to start looking at yourself. Imagine you're a savior, right? Imagine you're somebody who's meant to go out there and really impact people's lives. So with the emotional wherewithal, with having the thick skin, with being able to impact people's lives, with being solutions oriented, with having the keys to solve the #1 problem everybody in the world faces today, you have everything you could ever imagine in order for you to go out there and make the biggest impact you've ever created in your entire life. How? All by just shifting your focus and having a different conversation with people. Don't talk about the compensation plan. Do not talk about the compensation plan. And here's why. Because our products and services are amazing. Then you introduce the compensation plan. You say, hey, teacher, I'm so grateful that you're actually seeing a positive impact because of Economy. Could you imagine showing this to maybe 5 to 10 teachers in your school? Now let's talk about this, okay? Amazing segue. As a builder on this call, you have to do one thing, and that's launch your leaders. Now, I want everybody to be honest with me, and I want you to drop a 1 in the chat box if you have not, okay? Understand the question. If you have not launched your leaders, just drop a 1 in the chat box if you have not. And I want everybody to be honest with me, okay? There's 240 people on this call, and I'm pretty sure not everybody has launched all their leaders, okay? And it's okay. It's okay. Just drop a 1 in the chat box. It's fine. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with this. Part of growth and problem solving is honesty, right? We need to be real with ourselves. Anybody who wants to build, let me be clear, a leader is anybody who wants to build, okay? So let's talk a little bit about launching your leaders and launching your builders. So there's an incredible book out there that I want everybody to go and download after this call if your financial situation allows you to. This book is called Building an Empire. Now, one of the reasons why I want you to download this book, Building an Empire by Brian Carruthers, is because this individual who wrote this book has made over $26 million in this industry, but he's teaching you exactly how to launch your leaders. So let's talk a little bit about launching your leaders and what that means. Every single person who wants to build in your company deserves a grand opening or a PBR or a PBZ. So let's break that down. What is a PBR? A PBR is a personal business reception. That means you go to, imagine I enrolled Thomas in the company and Thomas wants to launch his business. He wants to do a grand opening. I would go and do a PBR, a personal business reception at Thomas's house. I would go to his house. He would invite 10 to 15 people into his home, and I would present the opportunity for Thomas in front of those 10 to 15 people. Thank you so much, Gunnar. I appreciate you dropping that in the chat box. There is the link for the Audible, guys. Download it, listen to it. You deserve to get the information in this book. Now, after I do that meeting for Thomas, let's say out of those 15 people, 5 of them enroll. And out of those 5 people, let's say 3 of them actually want to build the business. I can take those 3 people alongside Thomas, and I could do a PBR for them. Now, let's peel back the layers of the onion. Something happened in 2020 called the pandemic, and PBRs kind of converted and became PBZs. So these PBZs are personal business Zooms. Now what we're doing is we're creating grand openings and we're launching every single one of our people within their first 72 hours. We are scheduling their actual launch call. We're scheduling their grand opening. We're scheduling their PBZ or we're scheduling their PBR. And we're going to get as many people on that webinar as possible. And what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate that process with the individuals who decide to enroll into our business and who want to build. This is how you create massive duplication, because I want you to think of this as a web, right? So if I have Thomas and Thomas gets 15 people, we expose these 15 people, And from these 15 people, 5 come in and 3 want to build. Now I do 15, 15, 15, right? Now we have 45 people who I've shown the business to. Let's say now 15 people join. Now from these 15, we go ahead and we launch those 15 leaders. And then from those 15, let's say 35 people decide to get started. And from those 35 people, let's say 25 of them want to present the opportunity to their friends and their family. But the thing is, you have to make sure that you're launching your leaders. And what does that look like? Okay. First and foremost, if there's anybody in your business right now who does not know how to navigate their back office, you need to solve that situation immediately. Every single person on this call, you consider yourself a leader, a builder. I need you to go do a temperature check with every single person in your business, customer or affiliate, and you need to check on them. You need to say, hey, look, I know I enrolled you 2 weeks ago, but are you okay? What are you confused about? Because retention is the mother of growth. Understand that retention is the mother of growth and repetition is the father of growth. So when you can repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, people are going to be able to grow. And the mother of growth is retention. Why? Because if these people are growing and you're able to retain 80, 90, 100% of your business, now you've created a system where you cannot fail. Failure doesn't exist. It's not an option at that point because you've created a bulletproof system that's going to allow you and your leaders to duplicate one simple process. At the end of the day, I'm telling you right now, it is so easy for you to go out there and create a system and build an MLM. You do not need to be the strongest salesperson in the world. You don't even need to do what I'm doing right now. I know multiple people right now who are making over $50,000 a month in network marketing, and they don't do this. This is not a necessity, right? Why is it not a necessity for you to do this, right? Because you have people like me. We have Suhail. We have Zane Khan, we have Magnus, we have Thomas, we have so many other leaders, Lily, Fabiana, Yasin, so many leaders who can lead the field for you, all while you go out there and work and build and duplicate and build relationships with your people. One of the people who I'm so proud of is Abador. I don't know if you guys know Abador, but watch this man work. Shout out to Team Infinity. If anybody from Team Infinity on this call, huge shout out to you, and here's why. Abador created a system day one. Right away, before he even put one person in the company, he had a system that includes everything I've created. And his team is like this. They're together 24/7. How do you create that type of environment without knowing what to do? I can't expect that you guys on this call know that this is how you're supposed to build a network marketing business. This is my duty, obligation, responsibility to actually go out there and help you guys understand that we are solutions-oriented people with the ability to actually go out there and build and scale our businesses. Now, the other thing I want to say, when it comes to building your team, it's not about how many stories you could post. It's not about, the social proof you could just post on your social media and your Facebook and your Instagram. Because when was the last time you actually posted profits and somebody reached out to you and said, hey, what is that? Right? Very, very rare. People are scared to ask, okay? You have to be in the trenches. You need to be building relationships with people. You need to follow someone. You need to like 3, 4, 5 of their pictures. And then 2 days later, you need to get in their inbox and you need to build relationships and build rapport with individuals before you ask them to do business with you. Because at the end of the day, people do business with who? People who they know, like, and trust. And when you read and listen to the audio book that we just talked about, Building an Empire, you're going to learn exactly how to do this. Now, when it comes to GoPro by Eric Worre, I know a lot of people like that book. It just gives you a lot of high-level information. There's a lot of fluff in there, but with Building an Empire, you get specifics on how to build a massive organization. So absolutely incredible. So please, please, please launch your leaders. Now, the other thing you need to do is game plan meetings. Game plan meetings. And look, if you are somebody on this call and your leader is on this webinar, like you see your leader on this call and your leader, let's say they've launched you and they've done everything they're supposed to do, but let's say maybe they haven't done a game plan meeting with you. I want my leaders on this call and I want those leaders under those leaders to just have a real conversation and be like, look, I need a game plan meeting. I need to figure out exactly what it's going to take for me to crush 6 figures in the next 6 months. Because guys, we have 26 days left before the end of the year, right? And then what's going to happen? January 1st comes about and you cannot embody who you're going to be in 2023 unless you make the change today. The change has to come right now. You cannot emulate a Mogul and you cannot emulate a icon until you start to act like that individual months before you even get to that level. So how do you emulate an icon? I want you to take your favorite icon in the company, and I want you to say, okay, if this person is my favorite icon in the company, what can I do to duplicate their process to create something of growth for me and my network and my team? So you need to start embodying that icon mindset, that mogul mindset, in order for you to hit 6 figures in 6 months. So your new journey starts today. You need to put the old you to rest, the self-doubt, the negative self-talk, all the, the limiting beliefs that live inside your head. Guys, this is what's holding you back from realizing what you actually deserve to have in this life. The thoughts between your ears, what's going on between these 6 inches right here, is the most important thing and the most important piece of the puzzle. You need to be able to circumnavigate those negative thoughts. I'd be an absolute liar if I told you that I didn't have negative thoughts today. I would be an absolute liar if somebody just texted me right now asking me for a game plan meeting. I love it. I would be an absolute liar if I told you I did not have negative self-talk. This is part of the process, but it boils down to emotional wherewithal. It's about dealing with that adversity. It's about knowing that those thoughts are temporary, okay? And another book I highly recommend everybody read, David Goggins, an incredible book, one of my favorite books in the entire world. This book absolutely changed my life. I listened to this audiobook in January of 2022, the beginning of this year. And I also decided to listen to the book 2 more times, okay? Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins will make you realize and help you understand. I'm sure some people can relate because everybody has traumas from their childhood and whatnot, but I promise you, you will realize that the problems that you're focusing on right now are nothing compared to what other people are dealing with. And one of the reasons why I'm able to kind of just stay so focused and just focus and keep the main thing is understanding that my situation, regardless of where I'm at in my entrepreneurial journey, in success, my situation is far greater than 95% of the world. Every single person on this webinar, you have internet? Drop a 1 in the chat box if you have internet. Just drop a 1 in the chat box if you have internet. Drop a 1 in the chat box if you have somewhere to lay your head to rest, or actually drop a 2 in the chat box if you can put your head on a pillow tonight. Drop a 2 in the chat box if you can put your head on a pillow tonight. Why are you complaining? Is there any reason you have internet, you have a roof over your head, you have a pillow? What are we complaining about? Why are we confused? There are literally people right now who don't have food. There are people right now who have been living in refugee camps for years. There are people right now who have lost their parents and family to a bomb that fell on their house in the middle of the night. Like, we have so much to be thankful for, so much to be grateful for. And at the end of the day, we're here in network marketing as a surplus. This is fun. This is exciting. This is cool. We're making impact on people's lives. Sometimes we need to relax and just understand that we got to trust the process. And we cannot ever allow ourselves to forget the main thing. And the main thing is, if you have a 9 to 5 and you even work 40 hours a week for the next 40 years of your life, and you retire and you get a social security check and a pension, that life is still better than 99% of the world. There are people, I'm telling you right now on this planet, when they get old, even in first world countries, they're eating tuna fish. Literally, that's all they can afford to eat. So there's a couple things you need to think about is, what type of lifestyle do I want to live? And how do I want my legacy to impact people that come after me? You know, your legacy, right? And when you think about your legacy, you have to think about, how can I create something that is going to protect everybody that comes from me as much as I can from levels of poverty? How can I create more philanthropists from my bloodline? How can I create more people who are focused on love versus hate? And this all starts from this journey. Because like I said, everything we're doing here in network marketing is a surplus. This whole thing, Icon, Mogul, yes, we get to impact our lives and change our lives. And it's cool, it's fun, it's exciting. But never forget, at the end of the day, at the fabric of everything, we're all humans. We're people, right? And you can never lose sight of what can potentially happen if you succumb to the other side of this world, right? We've seen it with other people and other people in this industry, and they lose sight of exactly who they are and what they're supposed to be. They talk about impact, forget profits. They say things like this, but what do they really mean? And I'm not, look, if you are somebody who's 100% for profits, you want Lambos, Ferraris, do it, but do it at the highest level. I don't care if you donate to one person or you don't. That's your grind, that's your why, okay? And that segues me to the next thing. What is your why? Now, when it comes down to establishing your why, you need to understand that your why is the single most important key to the puzzle in order for you to hit 6 figures in 6 months. If you want to hit Icon 9 in 6 months, why do you want that? What is it about Icon 9 that is going to be so impactful in your life? How are you going to help people? What are you going to impact? Because at the end of the day, as selfish as people are, at our very core, we're extremely selfless people. We want to do good for other people. We want to deliver for other people. Now, I want you to think long and hard about your why. And don't just say, oh, I want to retire my wife. Oh, I want to retire my parents. Oh, it would be nice to give my kids, whatever they want. Oh, it would be nice to, save an extra $2,000 a month in my kids' college fund. Nah, it can't be that. Because if it's just that, it's never going to be the driving factor that allows you to go through all the BS you're about to receive once you make a decision to actually go out there and grow, okay? So when you think about your why, you seriously have to think about it in such a way that's going to make you cry. Like, I'll share my why with you. My why, of course, first and foremost, is to make sure that I make an impact on my legacy. My legacy is very important to me, not because I want people who come after me and through my lineage to view me in a different perspective. No, because I want to make sure that as a first generation American, that my kids and my kids' kids, my grandkids and my great grandkids don't have to go through some of the things that I went through, number one. Number two, I need to deliver back to my parents. My parents sacrificed entirely way too much to make sure that we can have a life here in the States so that I can do this, so I can be here today. Think about how beautiful that is. Of course, I have to send the ladder back up to them 1,010%. Then you have to take it a step further. What inspires you? What inspires you? What will keep you up at night? Knowing everything on this planet, what's the one thing that will keep you up at night? That's the one thing that'll help you drive through any brick wall. That's the one thing. Now, Gary Vee says it best. What scares him more than anything is the end. Imagine on your deathbed, you are thinking about all the things, because it's inevitable. It's coming for all of us. We have no control over this. Imagine on your deathbed, not feeling fulfilled. Imagine just sitting there thinking that you wish you had a time machine. That scares me more than anything. Scares me more than anything to sit there and think like, oh my God, I'm 75, 85, 95, whatever it is, whatever day, God decides to take us, we're there and we're asking for a second chance. We want that time machine. Think about the people you can impact. Think about, if you want to be a philanthropist, become a philanthropist. Think about what that impact can do to other people. But all I'm telling you is your why has to be deep, and it's got to be layers deep. Because when things start happening and you start getting adversity through your build, and you start having people who come into your team and maybe they don't see eye to eye with you, maybe they want different, maybe they have different goals, but you need to be able to dig deep. And like what you'll learn if you do listen to Can't Hurt Me is there's something called a cookie jar. And in your cookie jar, every single one of your small wins, all of your wins, every single time you grow and you advance and you get through a hardship, you need to take that hardship and you need to put it in your cookie jar. Because the next time you face adversity, all I'm going to do is open that cookie jar, go back in there and say, oh my God, the last time I went through something like this, I was able to get through it. You know what? I'm a badass person. I got this. I'm going to handle this. No problem. Nothing can bring me down. Because at the end of the day, there will be nobody who can motivate you and keep you disciplined more than you. And there needs to be 10 things that you do every single day for 90 days without fail in order for you to change your life. So let's talk about those 10 things. What are those 10 things that you could do? And I'll give you a couple examples because it needs to be your 10 things. It can't be my 10 things. We all operate very, very differently. Okay. So what are those 10 things that you could do every single day for the next 90 days to completely transform your life? And number one is get moving, go to the gym, get active, promise yourself at least 30 minutes a day of sweat. Very, very simple. As soon as I'm off this call, answer some messages, I'm going straight to the gym. Shout out to Sunny and Raj for holding me accountable. I appreciate you guys. Savage Builders out of the UAE. You guys are incredible. But after this, I'm going to the gym. And then what's another thing? Take 30 minutes of personal development a day. Whether that's you putting your phone on do not disturb, putting those headphones in your ear and listening to personal development, growth, right? You need that. Whatever that personal development is for you, take another 30 minutes a day and promise yourself you're going to pray. Whatever you pray to, whatever you believe in, whether you're Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Sikh, Hindu, Buddhist, atheist, it doesn't matter. What you need to gravitate to something. You need to pray to something. And if you're Muslim, you want to make sure you get all 5 prayers done. You want to make sure you get all 5 prayers done, no matter what. This is the best discipline in the world. As a Christian, you better be praying multiple times a day. Take 30 minutes out of your day to just be grateful to your creator, to the higher power. If you're Jewish, same thing. Make your prayers, read your Torah, have that connection, you know? If you're Hindu, same thing. Just take your time and trust the process and pray because it's powerful. It's going to fill your heart with so much gratitude. Not enough people talk about prayer, but pray. We're all one people. Nothing can ever divide us unless we allow that division to happen. You need to go ahead and also add in your 10 things that you do every single day without fail, prospecting. You need to have a list, build a list of 100 people. And when you go through that list of 100 people, let's say 10 people join, 10 people say no, 10 people say maybe. Take 30 people off the list, add another 30, take it back to 100. You need to have a rolling 100 all the time. And you need to be prospecting 3 people a day. Nothing too crazy. Drop a 1 in the chat box if you can promise very easily that you can prospect 3 new people a day. Just 3. Nothing crazy. I'm not asking you to go out there and talk to 30 people or 50 people. No, keep it super simple. This is a system, guys. This process has been done by thousands of other people. Why are we trying to reinvent the wheel? I'm nobody special. You know, at the end of the day, of course, I respect all of our leaders. They're all special in their own way, but we've done nothing different. You know, we're just following the blueprint of other people. So now, one last thing I want to leave you guys with before we wrap this thing up, because I think this part is the most important thing. So just make sure you have a list of 10 things that you do every single day without fail. That if you do this for 90 days, I'm telling you, 7 days a week, for 90 days, you will build, I can't tell you the type of habit you build when you create that. When you create that momentum within yourself to know that you were able to commit to something for 90 days, as a person, it changes you. It changes you, it changes you, it changes you. Thank you, Thomas. You find out who you really are. You know, you bring out that savage in you, because every single person on this webinar is a savage. It's just you've been constructed by people's opinions to feel like you're not deserving and you're not worthy. That's all success is. It's just, who are you in your own mind? So do your 10 things every single day without fail for 90 days, and I promise you your life will change. All the value that you've received today, if you implement each and every single one of them, I guarantee you, if you don't hit 6 figures in 6 months, you'll be very close to it. Your life will be completely different. You will have a different outlook on life. And maybe 6 months after that, 6 months, you'll finally hit your target. So trust, start. You just got to do it. Don't wait for the first. Don't wait for tomorrow. You start today. It's very, very simple. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, super important. So let's just imagine you're somebody right now who has a team of 10, who has a team of 20, a team of 200. This is the most important part of the entire training. How do you actually build and scale your business? Part of building and scaling your business, there's so much to do, but you have to build relationships with people in your organization. You need to be willing to go 10 levels deep into the structure, 20 levels deep into the structure, 40 levels deep into the structure, 127 levels deep into the structure to build connections and build relationships with people who can be your rock star. Because the number one person in network marketing is the person who can taproot the most. Now, let's just say Thomas enrolls somebody who's a low-key savage. And let's just say I happen to run into this person and we share a conversation. Next thing I know, I'm like, oh my God, you've had this experience in the past. Let's hop on a Zoom. Let's really break down what you could do here in Economy. Now, what I've done is I've created an icon 127 levels deep in my organization. What? Everybody's always focused on the first 5 levels. Oh, these are my leaders, my rock stars. They, they're they're everything. They'll run through brick walls for me. These guys are loyal. Listen, at the end of the day, loyalty is literally loyalty is very, very tricky. I would rather have a group full of committed individuals in my organization who would leave the company if they had to, versus a group of individuals that are loyal to me. And here's why. Because loyalty means somebody is willing to stay connected to you, even if there's no benefit to them. And a lot of times when loyal people decide to do business with you, they don't go all in because they're just there so that they don't offend you. I don't want people in my organization or in your organization building if they're just here so that they don't offend you, so that they can maintain a relationship. It's nothing bad on them. They're doing something incredible. They're hurting themselves to benefit the relationship. And I think that's beautiful. But at the same time, let's not confuse commitment for loyalty, because you want committed people in the process. You don't want just loyalty. So that's why it's so important to go past those 5 levels. Just remove any type of, ego, no ego, be humble, have humility, and reach down, have conversations with people. And look, as a leader, don't get offended if your leader goes 10 levels deep and makes a relationship with somebody in your organization. The only reason why you're getting upset is because you have a scarcity mindset. You're thinking, oh, what if this person leaves and they take this person? Why are you concerned about that? Build a better relationship with that person than your leader just built with them. Go out there and do the work. It's very simple, and I'll say that, a lot of people in this industry have things twisted. You got to take things as face value. Don't look at what, people say and immediately get offended. The moment, I promise you, wallahi, you get in your feelings, ain't nobody writing checks down there. Nobody is writing paychecks in feelings. You need to move around, circumnavigate your feelings, because your feelings are real. I'm not saying don't pay attention to your intuition, don't pay attention to your heart. I'm not saying those things. I'm not saying don't have feelings. I'm not saying if somebody offends you, don't address it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you feel offended, address it, move on. Don't hold a grudge. Don't wear it on your shoulders. Don't judge that person differently because they were having a moment. I have moments. I'm sure you could talk to any one of my leaders right now, and they'll tell you that I was a jerk to them at some point, that I was mean, that I was aggressive, that I was passive. I'm a human just like all of you, right? I can't have an expectation that anybody thinks I'm any different than you right now on the Zoom listening to this. I'm not a different person. I'm the exact same thing as you. We all just make mistakes. But the point is, you cannot rest in your feelings. Whatever feelings you have, I promise you, in this industry, be direct, address things. If you see something that you don't like within 24 hours, solve the problem. If you let it linger past 24 hours, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because I promise you, there's no checks in the feelings. There's no checks in those emotions. You want to be able to rise above that kind of stuff so that you can actually go out there, build and scale, follow your dreams. And absolutely, Dara, those feelings do slow you down tremendously. Now, look, this call was truly designed to ensure that every single person has a chance to go out there and achieve 6 figures in 6 months. There's 230 people on this call, and I swear to God, my heart wants it for all of you. But I can promise you, again, like I just gave you guys advice on being direct, I'm about to be really direct with all of you. Probably not going to happen for everybody. And that probably isn't because the system doesn't work or because the company's not delivering or anything like that. It boils down to you. What are you willing to do in order for you to achieve that? Are you willing to constantly stay in the lab? Are you willing to constantly challenge the status quo and do better? are you willing to continue to fail forward? And if these are the things that you're willing to do, like Thomas said, you have to be relentless, and you have to be relentless in the approach of you crushing your goals, and take every single one of those small wins and hold on to them for dear life. Because I promise you, one day when we actually peel back our story and we all talk about our stories, and I talk to you about what I was going through, if it wasn't for me holding on to my little wins for dear life, I might not be here right now. Understand how important it is for you to give yourself your flowers. Very, 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 very important. So, ladies and gentlemen, 10 things for the next 90 days. Do not miss any one of them without fail. Make sure you pick up Building an Empire. Make sure you pick up David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. Make sure you launch your leaders. Reach out to your leaders to have a game plan meeting. Make sure that you understand that what you feel right now in this call and how you feel as soon as we get off this thing, you're going to be on level 10. The only way you can continue to stay at level 10 is if you establish your why and you are willing to go absolutely all in to crush your goals, because at the end of the day, nobody deserves this more than you. And we have an amazing vehicle with amazing owners and amazing leaders. This is by far my favorite build, and I love all of you so much. I'm so excited that we've had this chance to connect, to collaborate, and to grow together. So ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Before you guys leave this call, I want to do something real quick. And I want to go to gallery, and I just want as many cameras on as possible, guys, because I'm going to record this. I'm going to post it on my stories, and I just need, like, guys, my phone isn't recording. Thomas, can you record this for me? Everybody get your cameras on, and I just want everybody to just do something, anything in the camera, and Thomas, just go through page 1 through 9 and just get as many people smiling, thumbs up, whatever it is, because this is the organization that's going to completely disrupt the trading MLM as you see it. We're going to absolutely impact and change so many lives. You owe it to yourself to be the person you're supposed to be on this planet. And the only person who controls what's going to happen after this is you. The ball is 110% in your court. Let's go out there and absolutely smash it. 2023 is ours. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Sending peace, love, and blessings. I want you all to have an incredible, amazing day. I'll get this recording out as soon as I possibly can. Thank you so much. Peace, love, and happiness. Take care.